The thing that people see the most is freedom and lack of schedule and the possibility to work from anywhere in the world. And that's true, and it's amazing. Don't get me wrong on that. But after being my own boss constantly for the last 7 years, I've also learned that freedom comes with a price. And it's not actually the thing that people think it is. If this is your first time here, I just want to say hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Peter Lindgren and I live in Sweden. I'm very happy to be serving you here today. And if you like the video, please make sure to subscribe because I would love to see you in the next video. But stay tuned until the end of the video before you decide, okay? So we're gonna start this video out when I was working on DHL way back in the day. Like this was in 2018 or even 2017. I remember when I was going to the office and this was piss early in the morning. Like we started at 03:30 at some days and it was horrible. Not the actual job itself, but more so getting up in the morning because you know how good it is when the alarm clock goes off and you're lying in bed and then you look at the clock and it says like 02:55 and you're like, nope. And then you're like, okay, you gotta head to work. But there was this one morning that I remember more than most. I grabbed my cup of coffee. I hadn't really punched in yet because I didn't start. I'm always the one that is earlier than I need to be at the job so I can sit down and take a little bit of a breather. And then I sat down and looked at YouTube. And then I thought to myself, like, it would be so nice to be my own boss. I started to think about all the benefits that you would have. You could sleep whenever you want, you don't have a boss, there's freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want, but most importantly, you can work on your passion. Fast forward until now, it's been 7 years since I quit my daytime job and been my own boss. Some of that turned out to be true, but some of it didn't. And I think that the main reason is because you become everyone. You become the CEO, accountant, editor, cameraman, customer support, product developer, and market department, and there's no one that is kind of preparing you for that. But with that said as well, that's also one of the reasons why I made this shirt, which is my own Prime Gear merch. It says the Department of One. And I kind of think that that sums everything up that I'm talking about in this video. Because when you become your own boss, you become the Department of One. When you go to the gym, you're the Department of One. And when you're a creator and you're doing YouTube videos, you're sitting here in a studio, you're recording a video where you're talking to a camera when no one else is around, you're the Department of One. And if you want to pick one of these up, I'm going to drop a link in the description down below. But when you're running the DPT-01, there's basically no one to blame. Like when something goes wrong, it's your fault. That's it. And one of the hardest things that I still struggle with every single day in my job is that you never punch out. Like there's no clock saying that, hey, now you're free. This is your free time. Whenever I go on a vacation together with the family, I open up Instagram, I open up TikTok, I open up the emails app, I open up the YouTube Analytics tab, I answer to comments. I constantly try to think of the next thing that I want to do whenever the vacation is over. When you're sitting together at the family dinner, you're doing the same thing. And on the weekends, I usually tend to think that being free is just a waste of time. I need to be productive. And I think that that is such a big hurdle to actually get over. And I haven't actually found a solution to be able to do that yet. But it's also kind of weird because there's no one that is forcing you to do these things. Everything is just up in here. And it might just be because the responsibility that you feel when you're running the Department of One is so immense that you constantly want to make sure that it's going to survive the next day. But think about it like this. When you're working for someone else, you are leaving for work. But when you're working for yourself, the work leaves together with you. That's it. Department of One. There's also a couple of things that you need to think of when you're running your business, such as the sponsorships deals, especially when you're a creator and you want to maintain some sort of income that is constantly going to come to your business so that you can sustain the thing that you're doing. If those sponsorships suddenly disappears, then you're going to have a very hard time trying to find something else that is going to cover up that loss of money in the short run. Maybe in the long run you're going to be fine, but you're going to have to hustle your ass off if that happens. And when it comes to hiring people here in Sweden, it is incredibly expensive to hire someone as a full-time employee. There's so many different taxes that I would need to pay, and I would also have to find work for that person to do whenever I'm not having the work planned that I'm thinking about doing. And the way that I work is that I'm very spontaneous. Like right now, It is 9:32 p.m. and I'm sitting here recording this video. If this were someone else that would come here at 9:32 a Friday, man, that you want to pay the money, boy? But then of course you have the option to hire a freelancer, but I haven't really been able to find someone that is delivering the way that I want them to deliver on within the price range that I can find acceptable. And honestly, I gotta say that I love making most of the things on my own. It gives me a weird satisfaction. But you also gotta know how to control your money so that you don't overspend your money and that you actually invest your money in something that is going to generate value down the line. And you also need to keep track of your inventory as well as your freaking taxes. Luckily enough, the tax part I kind of gave to someone else because I can't stand it. Like, accounting is not my thing. But one of the things that I've been focusing on for the last 4.5 years is to make my own course, the Final Cut Pro course, which you can still buy, covers everything that you might need in order to edit videos the way that I do. But I've also been working hard on my brand Prime Gear, which is the merch that I'm wearing right now, but also 3 different products that we have on the market: battery charger, tech organizer, and Thunderbolt cables. And then I've also done a lot of studio investments to make sure that I have a space that is gonna streamline my workflow to make me more productive whenever I wanna make videos or whenever I wanna work on a project, so that I don't have to try to figure out how I'm going to make something, rather just make something. And then we have the things that the people see on social media. Like, what you see is the studio, the house, the pool, the cameras, and all the gear that I have accessible around me. But what you don't see is all the failed ideas that I've had over the years, all the late nights, all the way too early mornings, all the lost time together with my family, and the immense risks that I've taken with actually investing money into the products that I believe in. And along with that, the doubt that I have on myself in the situations that I put myself in. It's very easy to think that when you get a viral video, such as I did with Poker B-roll, everything just solves itself. You know, it just flies. People see the video, you get sponsored deals, and then you just keep chugging along that path. But that is not how it actually works. Again, I've been doing this full time, 7 years at this point, and I'm still sustaining myself with the things that I've worked on over the course of these 7 years. But I'm still worrying every single day that someone is just going to come here and take this all away from me if I don't do the work that is needed and required for me to keep things going forward. And the bigger the freedom of being your own boss actually becomes, the more responsibility you will have. So is it actually worth quitting your job, going full-time YouTube, trying to run your own business, and be your own boss? I'm gonna say that if I could go back and choose everything all over again, I would still do it. No freaking hesitation at all. But I would also love to have some sort of mentor actually explaining to me and preparing me of everything that I would need to know before I actually had to go through it. But I also think that going through all those hard parts and actually understanding and figuring things out has made me come out stronger on the other end than if someone were to tell me all these things before I actually went through them. Sometimes I do wish that I did have a daytime job where I could just punch out the clock and be done with it, like everything is left at the job. But on the flip side, I also do appreciate the freedom that is coming with being my own boss and being an entrepreneur and doing all these things on my own. Because building something off my own is always giving me some sort of weird satisfaction that I feel completed. I feel like I completed something on my own that no one else told me to do. And it's one of those things that I find it very hard to explain to someone else that doesn't do what I do. But something that I also wish that I had more of is time with the family, because I've sacrificed so much of that in order to be where I am today with my career. Luckily enough, I have a very supporting partner that understands the amount of effort and work that I have to put into running my business. And ever since we moved here to the house, having my studio in the garage and having my kids coming over whenever they get home from school, that is unbeatable. So I wouldn't trade it for the world. But in my opinion, it doesn't matter if you're doing your own thing or if you're working a full-time job. It doesn't really matter, because life is about creating your own opportunities. I do think that there's a lot of people out there that is dreaming about being their own boss and dreaming about working for themselves. And they absolutely should do that, because it's amazing. But you also got to think about the entire picture. You shouldn't dream about the highlight reel.